mata da yara da ƙanana Allah ka tausaya mana tarbiyyar mai dawo cikin al'umma. Ina fata limamanmu da sauran al'umma za su ɗauki wannan alƙanut a yi ta karantawa. Allah ya ba wa Najeriya zaman lafiya. Duk wanda yake so ya kare zaman lafiyar Najeriya ya zama sanadiyyar ya zubar da jinin al'umma, Allah karka ba shi, Allah karka ba shi goyon baya. Duk wanda yake so Najeriya ta zauna lafiya, Allah ka ƙara taimakonsa, Allah ka zauna da mu lafiya, ka zauna da sauran ƙasashen makwabta baki daya.
Thank you, Jare Garba Live, for helping to explain to my, to the other members of the audience. So I'll conclude, because Tinubu cannot protect them. He couldn't protect them against kidnappings, against hunger. He couldn't protect them, and rather he chooses to ignore them. So they are now calling on Allah to Yamutu Tinubu. If that will be the solution to their problems, please, Allah, do it. Oh, Allah, do it. Oh. So tomorrow is Friday. That would be, if not all of their mosques tomorrow, I promise you this, it's going to be part of most of their preachings tomorrow. Now, to some of you from southern Nigeria, you see, this doesn't really look good, you will say, right? So they want to kill him so that Shetima will take over, Abi. So these people, in fact, before I know like Tinubu, but with what these people are doing, in fact, Tinubu to 2037, I get it. I do, I get it. We are two different people. There's no doubt. Okay? But the only thing that could have united all of us right now is that we are all victims of a failed country where we have our people, they have their people doing all of this to us as a people, right? So to them, if you have noticed from how the protest, when the protest started 8 days ago, up till yesterday, their own style of protesting is totally different from how the how the Southerners. Abimokparo, is that a lie? Some of you not even watching, some of you who attended the protest in the South in the last 7 days, were you not also looking at your social media to see how it was going in the North? Did you know? Because to them, when they want to fight something, it's the same way. They will mobilize them when they tell them the next person is their savior. Because and I need you to see it that way, that we are two different people. Okay? And being two different people is enough for you to support any idea that allows them, because this is the good thing, the idea that allows everybody to go and take care of their problems. They are not thinking twice before they bumped on the senator's house, Abi Rep's house in the North. They were not afraid to jump the fence into government houses in northern Nigeria in anger, to show to those people living in those houses that they are hungry. They're not happy. But because they are still part of Nigeria, that simply means those of you who probably feel like, why didn't they do that during Bokuwari? Are you not aware that they made them believe that you are the enemies from southern Nigeria? Yeah, they did. So if these guys have nobody to lie on, if those one from the South, the Yoruba politicians, if they don't have the Fulani or Hausa or Kanuri or Northerners to lie on, Yorubas will deal with them. We will deal with them. The Igbo Biafran politicians, when they no longer have Abuja, Fulani this, Fulani that, the reason why we can't stand up for our people is because the North He will not let us. The reason why we can't speak out for those being extrajudiciously killed in Igbo land, or for how they militarize it, the reason why we can't really fight it is because we don't want to offend the North. Now, they will have no North to use as an excuse anymore. They will stay in Biafra land. If the Biafrans decided that they want to deal with, they will deal with them their way. Do you get that now? And same goes for everybody. Now, they are not afraid to go after their criminal leaders. They beat them up in public. They stone them. They are not afraid. But guess what? These same criminal leaders are telling them that they understand that they are suffering. But they should not be deceived by the Southerners. They are even putting Igbos into it. Now, there will be no Igbos to blame. That is one beautiful thing about the breaking up of Nigeria that you have not thought about. You haven't really think about it, have you? You love this big thing. Yeah? You are from a big black nation that is sleeping, doing night vigil at the Malta embassy for visa, student visa. You are selling your properties in that same big nation, big for nothing. You're selling everything you have there, packing your families, packing everything you can pack to go and begin to live in a council house in Canada, in America, in all those small, you know what I mean? Like starting afresh. But yet you are still there. You are still kind of saying this contraption should continue. This is their own way of fighting. And if they believe that Tinubu's policies makes them poorer, unsafe, Papa, they are not going to be lied to and say, don't worry anymore. Papa, this is what they know how to fight with. I'm just saying, do not see or look at this without your southern lenses. You are always going to be wrong. I mean, I will be a little bit like, too. But I will be wrong as well. Now they say, make Tinubu buy for who? For shitty man. I don't know. That's why we are saying that if the whole thing escalated, because it's going to escalate, okay? You know what they call what do you call that thing again? Or is it the peace before the storm? Please help me. There's this saying that they say the peace or the silence or something before the storm. That's what you are going to experience in the next few days. But to them, they are really not just going to sleep. They will use that 3 days to call on Allah to help them destroy Kolu. It is called Al-Qunut. Go and read about it. This is what is called Al-Qunut.
Allah bai barin hakkin wani kan wani.
العالمين اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من الكفر والفقر والجوع والعطش يا رب العالمين اللهم عليك بأحمد بولا تنب 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 يا رب العالمين وسائر أعوانه يا رب العالمين اللهم انصرنا عليهم 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 يا رب العالمين اللهم اصلح ذات بيننا وبين قلوبنا سبل السلام من الفواحش الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن آمين من الظلمات إلى النور آمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين آمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة من سخطك والنار وإنا نسألك الجنة وقرب إليها قول وعمل بك من النار وقرب إليها قول وعمل صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وصليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد وباركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم لا رب لنا سواك فندعوه لا مالك لنا غيرك فنرجوه أنت الطلب وأنت المطلوب نسأل وأنت صاحب الكرم والجود اللهم أعطنا ولا تهرمنا وأكرمنا ولا تهنا وزدنا ولا تنقصنا وسلنا ولا تقطعنا وآثرنا ولا تؤثر علينا وآثرنا ولا تؤثر علينا وادنا ويسر الهدى لنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين اللهم أجب دعاءنا 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 يا رب العالمين اللهم بارك علينا يا رب العالمين اللهم اجعلنا مباركين أينما كنا يا رب العالمين اللهم اجعلنا مباركين أينما كنا يا رب العالمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين.
You know, go listen. And that's what Dele Momodu said today. He kind of said he told you that when Tinubu become your president, you would have a dictator on your hands. It seems so now. I mean, imagine the people that claim to fight the military for human rights abuses and other stuff, now using the same force to kill protesters that they have impoverished. That's life, yeah? No, it's not. Here is Bob D.
Well, both of them are very unfortunate. And to answer you frontally, to ask a question, is there bad governance in Nigeria? I don't think that is in doubt. Every Nigerian agrees on that, and I say it, including the aides of President, Mr. President, who cannot say it in his presence, but they grumble behind him. I say it everywhere. He's my friend, he's my big brother, and if anybody would deceive him, I will remain the only one who will continue to tell him that you are surrounded by liars who are telling Nigeria has never been this bad. I'm not an economist. The other day, someone said, because I studied Yoruba, I can't speak about it. The economy is different from economics. The economy is personal, is internal, and it can be external. Economics is textbook. Every time we hear IMF said, according to certain indices, Nigeria today, I don't know, you are a big man, Ruby. Maybe you are not feeling it.
I'm a struggling journalist.
So if you are a struggling journalist, now imagine the ordinary man on the street. And seriously speaking, it is unfortunate. Because, look, I want us to be practical. I don't want to come here and be repeating and rehashing what people say about government is not doing this. I want to say what government should be doing. That's being practical. The reason why I would say this government is failing is because, number one, they've not been able to check the profligacy that goes on in government in Nigeria. So what I would expect President Tinubu to do, and for him to be able to assure the nation that it means well for the nation. It's not about throwing money around. We've decided to give 50,000 naira to 3 million people. 3 million people amongst how many people? Over 200 million. It's a drop in the ocean. So I expect him to say, today, I am merging some of the ministries. As long as you meet the constitutionally required number of ministries, then cut off the rest. Number two, all these SSAs, every day, they are awarding appointments like popcorn. Like popcorn. Every day, you just remember, the daughter of my friend, the son of my former school teacher. You can't run Nigeria the way you run Lagos State. In Lagos, it's just a state, and then maybe because it's a state, a very wealthy one at that, you can afford that. But nationally, the level of poverty in Nigeria does not allow that. Then all this living large, outlandish lifestyle. You want to buy presidential jet, you want to build multi-billionaire home. Stop it now. And we have a good and reasonable example from Kenya. When the demonstration started in Kenya, our good friend William Ruto thought it was the usual, they will come out for 2-3 days, we will suppress them. Today is begging for oxygen. And I pray they don't drive these young Nigerians to that level, because the level of desperation is unprecedented in the country. So the president must come out. It's not a question of when I'm traveling, I will reduce my entourage to 20 people. That's nothing. So that is my reaction to that. Profligacy is key. Everything else emanates from that. When they say we don't have money, we don't have money, but they have money for politicians. Chief M.K. Abiola used to say that there is enough for the need of every Nigerian, but there is not enough for the greed of some Nigerians. Well, both of them are very unfortunate.
Which is brilliant. Which is true, right? He said it. There is enough for the need of Nigerians, but there is not enough for the greed of some Nigerians. Well, what on Mabu? El Buba, prophet. Now I kind of get his full title. They say he's Prophet El Buba, the man that led that of Plateau State in Jos for straight, at least 5 days out of the 7 days that the protest was active there. He was also on TV, and this is his own view after all.
Let me bring you to this. I think this is one of the things that is really, really getting me hard and hot within me. I've observed in this country that we love to sit on the chair of deception and lies. And I'm being very frank with you. Most of the political class, I say most, and that means 90%, come to a stage where they feel they can lie on the people and deceive the people or manipulate the people. Now, let me give you this about this protest. I never knew there was even any plan by anybody. I was in Warri having my conference. I was on a national tour. And I was going from state to state by road. I want to see the state of the nation, so that when we are praying, we know that we are praying specific issues. And I tell you the truth. I've never seen Nigerians in pain like the way I've seen them this time. I've never. When I confronted the former president, I confronted him because I told the nation. This time around, I went on a tour road and I saw the state of the nation. I was in Warri, and God spoke to me to confront the government, to do things quickly and put things right. People are suffering, and there are things that just ordinary, let me use the word, ordinary mind should be able to tell you. I'm not well educated, but at least there are simple things that an ordinary person should know. Short-term, mid-term, and long-term goal. What do we do with the pain that we've thrown the people into? This president threw Nigerians into uncommon pain. People are eating grass. People are eating leaves.
So would you say that it was not about ending the government, but writing?
It will amaze you.
Yeah, because
it will amaze you to know this, that not one person has given 1 penny. Not one person has spoken to me. All my chapters across the country, when I called for the protest, I said, if the president do not act on alleviating the pain of Nigerians, we will get on the street. That was when, after that broadcast, a group of young people from Kano, Sokoto, Kaduna, Brno and all of that. On the Twitter space, over 110,000. I got in there and I heard what the young men were discussing. And that was when I knew that, yes, the North is ready to bring about a change that has never been.
Over hunger and
the level of poverty and suffering in the land and insecurity.
He said more. But I mean, that one highlights possibly all things you need to know. That was what got him involved. He's one of the men of God or pastors in Nigeria who chooses not to lie to his own audience. Now, he could easily just have put out a program like that guy that is selling anointing oil for riches and all of that stuff, right? He could have done that, and there will be people that will queue to buy them in these desperate times, right? Well, yeah, a first-hand experience from El Buba. What do you think the likes of Oshiomole are saying? They're blaming the protesters. This guy said they've arrested 6 Spaniards. Now, they said they've arrested 6 Spaniards sponsoring the protest in Nigeria. These are the 6 foreigners, they told you. Then we kind of switch again from their camp. They said they've arrested 7 Polish that were printing and supplying the Russian flags. Like, come on, man. The boys that were making the flags, they are not even like in hiding. They're making videos of their own craft where they were making all those flags. So we didn't bring Poland and Russia together. Only in Nigeria of APC, where they have accused everyone, but never for once even speak on the demands of the people. Reversal of policies. But the likes of Oshiomole continue to say it's an attempt to overthrow Tinubu in order to further delegitimize the legitimate demand of the people. It was with Rufai on the same matter. Yeah.
Speaking. Yes.
Oh, Rufai, how are you?
Very well. Morning, sir. Comrade, let's
Thank
be
you, sir.
truthful in Nigeria. Because I see we lack a lot of truth, and that's why our lives are never going to be better as a country. The day we start to speak the
On
truth...
both sides, yes. Truth is constant. You can't defeat the truth. And that's why I have the courage to speak my mind.
Let me land, comrade. You are saying today that when you people went out for Occupy Nigeria in 2012, the word Occupy, you are blaming...
I wasn't part of it.
No, hang on a minute. I'm saying when all these well-meaning Nigerians, including the current president and affiliation with the political party, the APC, went out then protesting against subsidy, you are saying that the word Occupy Nigeria doesn't mean to take over Nigeria. You are saying they didn't probably threaten regime change and all of that. Comrade, the truth has to be said that the group that organized this protest is not faceless, except you choose to say you don't know them. You are saying you don't know Deji Adeyanju. You are saying you don't know Yemi Adamolem, which are people that have been frontline, civil society activists in this country. These are people that also made input in other protests. They are a valid group. So let's set that side apart first. Let's set apart that side. The second one, you said the president, when he gave his speech, it was a good speech. A lot of Nigerians say no. If you read that speech, apart from the conciliatory part of, yes, I'm sorry about the fact that people died, which a lot of people blame the president, because if he had come out to speak on time, that protest might not have even held in the first place. But he left it until after people died to come and speak, which was an abdication of responsibility. He now went ahead to rehash promises that we already know. Let me give you empirical facts this morning. As at 2022, Timi Prayer Silva's target was to get over 5 million CNG cars on the road. President Tinubu promised 1 million CNGs. That's even a backward walk from Timi Prayer Silva's promise. He said he's going to do 10 million hectares. He said he's going to cultivate 500,000 hectares last year. We have not seen the food. Food inflation is still over 40%. He's celebrating the fact that, okay, we have 9.1 trillion now in revenue earnings, that we earn more compared to last year. But don't forget also the fact you politicians come out to tell us how broke government is. In fact, the deficit is also increasing. He said he's going to he's giving over 570 billion to the states. Some of the states came out to say that they've got nothing really. We say we are sharing palliative. People can't feel the impact. So a lot of people say it was just another campaign rhetoric, empty on promises and less on impact. How you said that speech was okay. So my two questions are...
Can I reply, sir?
Yes, go ahead, sir. You have the
sir.
floor.
Your two questions, because you spoke at less, so reduce it to two questions.
Yes. The first question is...
What are your two questions, sir?
You people know the organizers of the protest. Do not say it was faceless because it's been hijacked by people. And ample intelligence was provided